nation isolated and shackled by the world's most suffocating sanctions, constantly staring into the barrel of the most powerful military machine ever built. Yet, it doesn't blink. Iran doesn't stand its ground because it has the largest army or the flashiest technology. It stands because it has forged decades of betrayal, invasion, and psychological warfare into an unbreakable shield of steel. This is the story of how Iran rose from the ashes of 1979 to become a regional force that no one dares to challenge lightly. It all began in the chaotic streets of Tehran in 1979. The Shah, once Washington's policeman of the Gulf, fled as a tidal wave of revolution swept him from the throne. When Ayatollah Khomeini returned from exile, the Islamic Republic wasn't just born, it was a seismic rejection of Western dominance. Their mantra was simple: neither East nor West. They vowed independence at any cost, but that freedom came with a staggering price tag. Only months into its existence, in September 1980, the young republic faced its existential test. Saddam Hussein's Iraq, backed by the deep pockets of the Arab world and the military intelligence of both the USA and the USSR, launched a full-scale invasion. They expected a walkover against a revolutionary government still purging its own ranks. Tanks thundered into Khuzestan, cities were reduced to rubble, and chemical gas rained down on soldiers and civilians alike. Cut off by a total Western arms embargo, Iran was supposed to collapse. Instead, something visceral happened. Ordinary Iranians, students, farmers, and shopkeepers volunteered by the hundreds of thousands. They formed human waves, charging through minefields with little more than raw faith and bolt-action rifles. Out of this fire, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, evolved from a ragtag militia into a battle-hardened elite force. From teenagers to elders, the Basij volunteers held the line against mechanized divisions. For 8 brutal years, Iran fought in total isolation, learning that in a world of giants, you must be your own savior. By the time the war ended in 1988, Iran hadn't gained territory, but it had found its soul. The conflict birthed a doctrine of radical self-reliance. Never rely on a foreign power again became the national DNA. Engineers began reverse engineering captured Western and Soviet hardware, improving it with local ingenuity. Factories hidden deep underground began churning out ballistic missiles, precision drones, and anti-ship weapons. Iran didn't just survive the siege, it built a fortress within it. As the decades rolled on, the pressure intensified through nuclear standoff and maximum pressure sanctions. Yet, every blow seemed to strengthen their resolve. After the 2003 U.S. invasion of Iraq, Iran didn't retreat, it stepped into the vacuum. This was the birth of the Axis of Resistance, a sophisticated web of allies stretching from the Houthis in Yemen to Hezbollah in Lebanon and militias in Iraq and Syria. This proxy network gave Iran strategic depth. The logic was cold and brilliant. If you attack Tehran, the entire Middle East will ignite. By controlling key choke points like the Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of the world's oil flows, Iran ensured that any war against them wouldn't be a clean aerial campaign, but a global economic heart attack. Today, Iran's deterrence isn't just about proxies. It's about a massive, homegrown missile arsenal capable of reaching any base or city in the region. They have mastered asymmetric warfare, the art of making a war so costly and unpredictable that even a superpower finds the price of admission too high. While their economy strains and internal challenges persist, their military posture remains unwavering. Behind the hardware lies a deeper, ancient pride. Every time a threat is issued from Washington or Tel Aviv, Iranian leaders invoke the memory of the 1980 invasion. To them, sanctions are just proof of enmity, and threats are merely a validation of their hard-won independence. Iran doesn't flinch because it has already lived through its worst-case scenario and emerged stronger. It has proven that true deterrence isn't just about having the most expensive weapons. It's about the willingness to endure, the creativity to innovate under pressure, and the terrifying capability to strike back anywhere, at any time. Iran doesn't flinch because it has already lived through its worst-case scenario and emerged stronger. It has proven that true deterrence isn't just about having the most expensive weapons. It's about the willingness to endure, the creativity to innovate under pressure, and the terrifying capability to strike back anywhere, at any time.